Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom, peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world to so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America. Okay, today's video, I might name it Scarlet Harlot Spirit. The Scarlet Harlot Spirit pulled up to the camp yesterday, and that's what the Spirit led me to do this video today. Okay, the Spirit instantly spoke to me and, revealed to me that this is, this is what the physical counterpart of the Scarlet Harlot in the flesh would look like and act like and talk like, right? And that's what this wicked heathen woman pulling up to the camp, with her smooth, buttery words, just like a true Edumyte, and one of these true anti-Christians pulled up, at first very polite. Excuse me, are you guys recording here? Was her question. And then only to turn into an absolute demon, and the brothers, handled it, very cordially. The situation, they handle her very professionally and kind, right? Like they would anybody, right? But this woman decided to just bug out, just started talking about this ain't true. I don't believe in this, or I believe in the true Israel, or, just going off, right? So again, sorry for the long intro. Let's get started here. The Scarlet Harlot spirit, and that is the spirit of these Babylonians as well. They're the same people, Esau, Edom. Okay, let's get started here in Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay, and we know this is figuratively speaking, because this is the dream that John had, right? The great whore, and you notice it's just speaking of a individual, right, that sitteth on many waters, symbolizing the many peoples of the nations of the world. Okay, let's continue reading here. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay, and this wine of fornication, is referring to the ideology, the way of thinking of these damn Babylonians over here, okay, which are the Edomites. Okay, their way of living, their way of thinking, straight up deceit, straight up hypocrisy in everything they do and in everything they say. They've even gotten the Holy Scriptures a hold of it and twisted up the whole Bible, put all types of leaven in this bread, you know what I mean? Just completely remix the whole Bible to their liking, right? Because that's the spirit of the Scarlet Whore, okay? She's filled with abominations, okay? And then she filled this cup, and served it to the whole world, right? And that's what it's speaking on, okay? Just like that woman pulling up over there, talking all her blasphemy, all her abominations of, who the true nation is, of Israelites, who the true nation is, and who she hearkens to and who she cares for, right? Okay, let's continue here. Revelation 17:4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Right? That's what she had in her hand. Full of abominations, right? Full of hypocrisy, full of deceit, of lies, that spread like a virus throughout the four winds of the world. And that is what she's known for. And that is why she is getting exposed, right? And people have gotten hip to the fact, who this whore is, right? And as we're reading, you notice it speaks of a singular form, because this is the dream that John was having of a whore, right? One whore. But in reality, this one whore is a spirit of a whole nation of people. Okay, this nation of people are the Edom, the Edomites, right? Which go all the way back to Esau. And that is the same spirit. This scarlet whore, the scarlet harlot that it talks about in the book of Revelation 17, as we're seeing, is that spirit of people. And just like that spirit, that's how these people act out here, man. Just like that lady, pulling up. She thought she was better than everybody, trying to act all polite, only to become a demon in like 2 seconds. Just because the brother, just had asked her in a polite fashion, by the way, just asked her, okay, ma'am, well, if that's what you believe, can you please show us in the Bible where it says that those individuals there are the true nation, right? The true Hebrew Israelites. And man, it's like we done turned the switch on to demon mode, man, because this woman her head just spinned around like the exorcist and just started getting loud. I believe she threw a little curse word in there. I forgot exactly what she said, but I knew she got loud and getting all belligerent in speech, and as she was, screaming and saying, no, I don't give a damn, this and this and that, just walking away as she's, screaming and making a scene. And that's the very first thing that popped in my head. Scarlet harlot spirit right there, man. She's got the scarlet harlot that it talks about in the book of Revelations, a woman that was arrayed, right, in purple and scarlet color, decked. And she was decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, right? A woman that, tries to make her image look like she's all polite and all gentle and sophisticated. But all of a sudden, as the world drinks of that golden cup, they realize it's full of abomination and filthiness, man. And that's exactly what this woman showed in her spirit, man. Abominable, a filthy, a fornicating, scarlet harlot spirit, man. It's what she had, downright just started acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody talked to her in a bad way. Nobody said it, but was very, very polite, handled the manner very, very manly like, but yet very, very polite towards a woman. Asked a simple question, can you show us that in the Bible? And this lady flipped out. Why? Because she knows she cannot. She cannot show that in the Bible. She has no wisdom or understanding. She's just a belligerent fool out there speaking emotional things, and she just siding with Caesar Borgia. That might have offended her, seeing the Caesar Borgia poster, that might have offended her because she sees the likeness of her and that image, that's the vibration that she's going on, right? And the small hats over there, that those are the people, and the people on that 12 tribe chart is not. You know what I'm saying? And this is how the spirit is working, and it's getting to these damn demons out here, man. It's getting to them badly. is rousing them up, you know, because just the word of itself, man, will destroy these demons, right? And the funny thing is, we didn't even get a chance to really bring out any scripture, because she just flipped out, man, just because we told her, use the Holy Scriptures then, and let's see your breakdown, or let's hear what you got to say, you know. But she knows damn well she has no wisdom or understanding, and all she is a scarlet harlot spirit here in Babylon the Great, you know, that's decked with fine pearls and walking around with a golden cup, acting like she all that. But she flips out once you ask her a simple question. Fine, okay, let's hear what you got, you know. And she ain't got nothing, obviously. She walked off, you know, acting a fool, because she knows she ain't got nothing. You know, she loves to live in that filthy, deceitful lie that these damn Edomites have created for themselves, right? Okay, they cannot hear these true holy words, and that's why as soon as she was walking off, you know, the brothers, you know, let her have her a couple scriptures there, you know, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, right? And that's exactly what she was doing. She was fleeing instantly, right? The wicked flee when no man pursueth, all right? But the righteous are bold as lion, right? We stayed there. We didn't get all emotional, you know what I'm saying? We stayed there. We stood our ground and just laughed about it, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's go here to Second Thessalonians 2:4. Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that he as Yahweh sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Okay, who opposes and exalts himself? No one but Esau Edom. Okay, Esau Edom is that spirit of the scarlet harlot, right? And this is how we were able to discern in the spirit this individual, not based on carnality of the way she looks, right? Of what racial ethnicity she might be, based on her behavior and how her spirit completely rejected anything that's coming out of the Bible and didn't want to hear no parts of it. She just was just stuck on what she wanted to force upon us, and what her ideologies, right? Her deceitful, wicked, filthy mind thinks that is right, and she wanted to shove that in our face. Here we are minding our own business, and you got this heathen pull up, you know, clearly an Edomite, you know, maybe even a small hat, right? Talking about she support the true small hats over there, right? She supports the true small hats, is what she's saying, you know. And that's all a bigotry on her part, you know. Why? Because they support you? Is that the way these heathens think? You know what I'm saying? And then we had asked her, hey, go ahead and show us where, you know, where you could prove this, you know. But of course she didn't. All right, let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? Let no man deceive you by any means, for the day shall not come. And what is that day talking about? The day of judgment. The day that the whole world, from the four winds of the world, will feel the wrath of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Okay? Except there come a falling away first. What? So what does that mean? This falling away first has to come from these wicked Edomites. Okay? The ruling power of spiritual Babylon here in America. Okay? They are the ones that are being revealed right now. They are the men and women of sin that is being revealed. And that's why they are bugging out, man. That's why you see the demons in these people, and they bugging out and getting upset. And the only way they could counter any attack towards the real brethren is to come with a deceitful lie, or to make a scene in order for us to act carnally minded like they are, right? For us to act like a cave man or a cave woman like themselves, right? You know, they're going back to their natural state of the Caucasus Mountains, right? Further going and proving our point, right? They can't be civil and be spiritual. It is not in them to be spiritual, right? They don't have no discernment in the spirit to counter anything we talk with the spirit, right? They can't get the spiritual book encounter with that. They have to be deceitful. They have to be wicked. They have to lie. They have to scream and curse. They have to get in their flesh demon time and arouse you up and try to poke you to act like them. Okay, that's all they've got. You know, that's why they're considered the son of perdition. Let's go to that word perdition real quick. Let's get the transliteration, the Greek transliteration, apolia. Okay, apolia. Okay, it means destroying, utter destruction. That's exactly what they are, man. And that's what they have been for the centuries in the past. And you can see the blood genocide trail that leads right to them. A perishing ruin, a destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell. And that's what they got coming for them, man. Okay? Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai has labeled them the son of perdition for a reason. They are a waste. They are damnable. Okay? And they will perish, as it says here in the Strong's transliterations, right? They represent pure destruction, right? Apolia almost sounds like a apocalypse, you know?
Strong's G 684. Apolia.
Okay. This is what these demons go around doing, man. This is how they act. And they're getting exposed more and more every day. Okay. Let's go here to and this is why they can't handle the true righteous scriptures, man, because it wasn't given unto them, man. Okay? Hebrews 4:12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Right? And that's exactly what we were able to do. We were able to discern the thoughts and the true intents of that wicked heathen, right? Which was a scarlet, harlot spirit all up in here, man. Thought she was above the brethren there. Thought she was higher, superior, right? With not having no evidence to show for it, and don't even want to have a civil discussion of why she thinks that she's in the right. Well, show us then in the Holy Bible then, right? But what does she do? She get mad, you know, like the true heathen she is, right? And that's what the word did to her, man. Just mentioning the Holy Scriptures, man, has these people bugging out right now, right? We just said, okay, show us in the Bible, right? The brother, you know, had asked her, okay, would you be so kind as to show us in the Bible where it says that you're claiming, right? And we notice how quick and powerful the word was. Right? Quick and powerful, and how sharp it was to this individual's spirit, because she was bugging out, man. She was bugging out, man. Her head did a 360 and like The Exorcist and started bugging out. You know, getting all loud, screaming, y'all don't know nothing. I believe in the small hats and this, that. Y'all ain't the real, you know, just bugging out, you know, said a couple curse words and everything, you know, talking about she's an anti-Christian, you know what I mean? And she acted like one 100%. So, again, I just wanted to touch this subject, just wanted to speak on this today. Yahweh willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, and the speckled bird that are amongst those other nations that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Shalom, shalom.